A pleasant and belated good evening, everyone, from Clipper Magazine Stadium as the Barnstormers and High Point Rockers will get going here. But we had to wait out some rain that passed through the area. Fortunately, the heavy storms that have come through south central Pennsylvania have missed Clipper Magazine Stadium. We had one shower, and then there was a second storm that already has washed out the Southern Maryland at York ball game tonight, but that, as it turned out, missed us to the south, and the field now dry, and we're ready to go with baseball here this evening. The Barnstormers and the High Point Rockers, game 2 of a 4-game series. Last night, a disappointing loss for the Barnstormers, 4 runs in the top half of the ninth to overturn what at one point was a 6-1 Barnstormers lead, and then it was 6-4 going into that ninth inning. Tonight, Connor Overton will be making his third start for the Barnstormers. He's been exceptional so far. 6.9 ERA, and the run he allowed could be ascribed to some jitters in his very first inning here in the Atlantic League. He'll be matched up against Matt Sergey, who was the opening night starter for the Rockers here on April the 26th, but he has not pitched since late May due to some injuries, so he is back tonight for High Point. Overton 1-0, 0.69. Sergey 1-1 with a 2.41. With him. He's a wonderful young man. His name happens to be Brian Harper, and we talked to Brian today about things like being from Las Vegas. And we'll be back with the Barnstormers lefty in just a moment on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Wow, season 15, can you believe it? Gockenauer Appliance is proud to be back partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers again this season, and has been since day one. We are also proud to be celebrating our 70th year of business this season, and wanted to thank all of you for your support in business over all these years. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about some great offers and giveaways we have for you during this 15th season of Barnstormers Baseball.
Welcome back to this edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout season. I think is probably the best way to describe it, but you've had the chance to throw the last couple of days, and to me you've looked as good as you've looked all year. Do you find something clicking at the moment?
Yeah, I think coming off the injury for that 6-week mark was kind of tough. I was expecting myself to come back a little bit, locked in, coming off that 6 weeks, but it took a little bit longer than what I wanted. But last couple have been good, and I've been really pleasantly surprised and happy about it.
One of the things that I've always told scouts are.
I think that was a big test. Obviously, whenever if you're available every day and you can throw multiple innings, you have the opportunity to help anybody out. At big league level, minor league level, in any situation. So I think that's a big positive for sure.
I mean, you've been down the arm injury road, and hopefully that's well in the past. The leg injury is kind of unusual for a pitcher, I guess, especially the injury you had with the hamstring, and it looked pretty ugly there for a while.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of long travel and stuff like that. I think it kind of wore on me. Not staying hydrated, I guess. But I've done it before. I did it actually in 2013 when I was in Hagerstown, low A for the Nationals. But same thing, it just took 6 weeks, and those hamstrings are tricky. If you don't just completely get off them and let them fully recover, they linger and they come right back, and that's exactly what happened. So,
you've been in Harrisburg for years, and you're day with your Senators host family this summer. How did that help in the transition to coming here to Lancaster in the Atlantic League?
It's huge. Anytime you can see familiar faces around, the ballpark, whether the fans coming here from Harrisburg when they're on the road, or living with my host family, living with one of my best friends in Spitzer Kibu, who's with the Senators right now, obviously 40-man guy for the Nationals. We talk about it every day in the bullpen how much this is literally our favorite bullpen we've ever been in, just because of the group of guys that we have. We all have something in common and can hold a conversation with everybody. So it really is a great place to be and continue the dream of playing professional baseball.
One thing you said in one of the preseason interviews that you went through it was about your dad and how he has actually helped to shape your family and the blue-collar values that you have been able to adopt from him. Tell us a little bit about what your father does for a living, because I find that fascinating.
Yeah, so he was an iron worker for 25 years, rod buster, as they like to call him, and He did all the reinforcing steel for basically the whole strip and pretty much every building in Las Vegas and the surrounding area. A lot of different things, Hoover Dam, they kind of diverted some traffic from actually crossing over the Hoover Dam and actually built that bridge. And so waking up at 3 a.m. and going to work and getting everything set up for his crew, and then coming back at 2 o'clock and picking me and Bryce up from school, and then going to practice. And he's always a huge example for me and my brother, and here, and he always will be. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And thinks about others. He was worried about providing for us. He wasn't worried about how his back felt or how his knees felt or his shoulders. He said he's got 4 torn discs in his back. He's got 2 repaired shoulders. He's had 4 knee surgeries, whether it's ACLs or MCLs, and then the cleanups throughout the years. But yeah, he always put us first, and that was his biggest priority was making sure that we were provided for and could pursue our dreams of being pro ball players.
We outsiders, I think we've got.
It's a big city, but a small town. It really is, because everybody knows everybody. I mean, you talk to anybody from Vegas, we're very proud of where we come from, and we root for everybody. It doesn't matter whether it's Chris Bryant or my brother or Joey Gallo or Joey Rickard, who's with San Francisco now. Chasen Shreve, Paul Sewald, Donnie Roach. I could go on and on of all the guys that we all just love to see them doing it at the big league level, and it's a real family. It really is.
And Major League Sports are starting to find their way to Las Vegas. Now, I think the rest of the sporting world envies Las Vegas because you guys didn't have to go through the lovable loser 62 Mets phase with your Vegas Golden Knights. Right away, Stanley Cup Finals. That had to be a certain source of civic pride. Yeah,
it was really big for the city. Being in town for the mass shooting that happened October 1. Actually was at the preseason game before it actually happened, and I was actually going to stop by, but actually on the East Coast with my brother, and he called in a panic thinking I was still down there. And it was really big for Vegas because we had something for us to not worry about what happened and focus on the Golden Knights. And they did such a good job at being there for us as a city and a town. And it was tough for the first month or so, but they did such a good job at reaching out, doing community outreach programs and stuff like that. And then obviously we had the cherry on top with us going to the Stanley Cup final, obviously not winning it, but
yeah, obviously.
Right. But
says the Capitals fan.
Right. But no, it was awesome. It really was. And then I think this year in the playoffs it kind of got our hearts ripped out with the Cody Eakin 5-minute major, terrible call, and the NHL coming back and as the fans, obviously.
Had you been a hockey fan prior to that, or was it just because it was a Vegas team?
Yeah, I actually started watching it more in 2010 during the Olympics. It was USA versus Canada in the final, and Sidney Crosby scored the game winner to break the USA heart. And but that really got me going into it, and then I would just watch here and there, whether it was Wednesday Night Rivalry or the Sunday day game on NBC, and I just would watch and watch, and then I actually had a buddy that is from Chicago and actually got me started rooting for the Blackhawks just because he wanted to talk hockey and I enjoyed it too, so I needed kind of that mutual team to talk about, and that was actually my first game I ever went to, was in the United Center, and let me tell you, being there for the national anthem was the coolest experience I've ever had. Hearing everybody just go nuts during that, and hearing Jim Corneliuson point up and singing the Star Spangled Banner, it was truly awesome. So I fell in love with the sport obviously in 2010, but I've been a fan since. Yeah.
And the NFL's coming.
Yeah. I'm. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'll probably be jumping on board on the Raiders bandwagon. I think they're gonna. They may struggle a little bit, obviously watching them on Hard Knocks and stuff this year, but, they may have a little bit of a growing pains this year, but I think next year they should come in with some winners, and Vegas fans will jump on board as long as they're, there to work hard and put a good product on the field.
Yeah, one thing you have to claim that little squirt you grew up with can never claim, you have a College World Series title. What was that like?
That was awesome. It truly was. That was one year that I may have struggled on field here and there, but it was an awesome experience. Being able to open up TD Ameritrade with the first ever national championship there in Omaha at the new ballpark. It was truly a great feeling, and you make lifelong friends when you win championships like that. And that's something they can never take away from me. Those two rings, we actually had an SEC championship and then also the College World Series. So yeah.
Well, Brian, it's been great talking to you, and keep the good work going. And I know this club overall, it's been a struggle, but I watch you guys every day and see how tight you still are, and know what it could be like in that clubhouse right now, and it's not, and that's a tip of the cap to you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We're just we're out here grinding. We really are. We're trying to put some good ABs together and put some good innings to throw some zeros. But it's a great clubhouse, and like I said, it's one of the best clubhouses I've been in. Top to bottom.
Brian Harper joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. I'll be back with the starting line.
Hi, Adam Gockenauer back with you again to tell you about some of the great offers we have for you all season long. Stop in every day to register for a team-signed Barnstormers jersey. No purchase necessary. One lucky winner will win this very special jersey at the end of the season. Did you know we also have the best deals on the full line of Weber gas grills? Hey, mention this ad and receive free delivery on every Weber grill you purchase during the season. The best brands at the best prices, Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
The Silver 5 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
My home, sweet home, God bless America. My home, sweet home, from the mountain to the prairie to the ocean, white with foam. Home, sweet home, God bless America, my home, sweet home.
DJ folks, and now please remain standing and remove your hats as we honor America with our national anthem, performed by Melissa Adams.
Oh, say, Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bells bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled airway for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Melissa Adams.
This evening at Clipper Magazine Stadium, the Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the High Point Rockers, and here are the starting lineups this evening. For High Point, it will be Stephen Cardullo leading off, playing right field. The center fielder batting number 2 is Jared Mitchell. At third base, batting third, is Hector Gomez. Quincy Lattimore is the cleanup batter and playing left field tonight for the Rockers. The first baseman batting fifth will be Richie Schaefer. Sergi Rosa is the designated hitter batting sixth. The second baseman batting seventh. Moving in from center field is Miles Schroeder. It will be Giovanni Alfonso batting eighth. He is at shortstop. Frank Nigro will catch tonight for the Rockers. He is batting in the number 9 slot. Matt Sergey will be making the start for High Point, his first appearance since the end of May. He is 1-1 with a 2.41 earned run average in 4 starts for the Rockers this season. And for the Barnstormers tonight, Caleb Gindel will lead off. He will serve as the designated hitter. The third baseman batting number 2 is Joe Ternaslovich. Andrew will spot for him. The cleanup hitting eighth is Darian Sanford, and Devon Torrance, who has killed the High Point Rockers this year, is the number 9 hitter for the Barnstormers and playing left field. Connor Overton, the 6-footer, 26 years of age, from Richmond, Virginia, on the hill for the Barnstormers tonight. Overton 1-0, a 0.69 ERA. He's given up just 8 hits and a run in 13 innings of work with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts over his 2 starts. He shut down the Somerset Patriots. He gave up just 4 singles in that start, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 5. So he'll face Stephen Cardullo, the Right Point Rockers. A swing and a miss at the first offering. Overton gets ahead in the count, no balls and a strike. Cardullo, 268 with 18 home runs and 57 runs batted in on the year, 28 doubles and a couple of triples. He had the tying base hit last night. Now a pop-up down the first base side. Over comes Applin into the Barnstormers bullpen, and the ball fades away from where he can get to it. Cardullo alive at no balls and 2 strikes. Jared Mitchell, a center fielder, and then Hector Gomez, the third baseman, sent to follow in the top half of the first inning. Joe Terdoslovich at third for the Barnstormers. Michael Martinez at short. Melvin Mercedes, the second baseman. Casey Hobson at first. Torrance in left. Sanford in center. Applin in right. The outfield for the Barnstormers tonight. Parker Morin catching once again here this evening. 0-2 from Cardullo in the dirt, covered up by Morin. And it is ball 1 and 2 strikes the count. High Point rallying for the 8-6 victory here last night. By the way, thanks to Ryan Cortazzo and his efforts, we have the video stream back up and running tonight. This is a good thing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball past the mound. It'll skim to the second baseman, Mercedes. Melvin fires on. Cardullo retired. And considering the fact that Stephen Cardullo has 2 leadoff home runs against the Barnstormers this season, that is a plus. Jared Mitchell, a center fielder, stepping in. He had the game-winning hit last night, a 2-run double into the left field corner. in that painful top half of the ninth inning. And the Barnstormers got a comeback underway, but a double play pinched it off. Well, here is the Atlantic League veteran mid, home now in High Point, 250 overall this year. With in 1-0. Hoping at some point this year I might be able to grab Jared for a pregame interview. His story very similar to Devon Torrance. College football player. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Played for Louisiana State. Played college baseball there as well. Whereas Torrance had signed his professional baseball contract. NCAA D1 football at the highest of levels. Swing and a miss. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Mitchell. 1 out, nobody on. Top half of the first inning. We are underway after about a 95-minute or so rain delay. We didn't get hit hard, but it looked like we might, and better safe than sorry. Or as I say, when in doubt, tarp. 1-2. Comebacker, 1 hop to Overton. He will shovel to Hobson covering. 2 up and 2 down. Bringing on the third baseman, Hector Gomez. 285 hitter is Gomez with 9 home runs, 58 runs batted in. I sometimes wonder if the amount of hours on the bus will catch up to High Point. Certainly didn't seem to last night, but their travel schedule has been a bit ridiculous as of late. Going to New Britain for 4, back home. Long Island for 3, back home. They're up here for just 3. And they go back home. Those are long bus trips. Fouled off over to York, or 2 hours and 15 minutes up to Somerset. We're looking at 7 hours from here and 10, 12, 13 hours from some of the northern markets in this league. No balls, 1 strike, and a Gomez. That is scalded foul over toward third, kicking back out to Terdoslavich at third base. Quickly, 0-2 on Gomez. Start this year. We saw part of it here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. He had 6 multi-hit games in his first 7 games of the year. Overton is wide, and that is ball 1. Defense plays Gomez slightly to pull, maybe more so in the infield than the outfield. He swings and misses here. The tag will ultimately be applied gently by Moore, and as Gomez had already conceded. Connor Overton gets his night off to a great start. 1, 2, 3 go the Rockers. Nothing across in the top half of the first inning. At the end of the half, it is High Point nothing. The Barnstormers. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with chances to win, it's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Banner Matt Sergey with the start for the High Point. Seems then we have been told, but Sergey 1-1 with a 2.41 ERA, 4 starts, 18 2/3 innings. Only 7 hits allowed, 5 runs all earned. with 5 walks and 13 strikeouts. He worked 4 innings here opening night, but he walked 4. Gave up only 3 hits to the Barnstormers. Caleb Gindel leading off for Lancaster. Designated hitter, batting .291 with 15 home runs and 75 knocked in. Here is the windup, and Gindel inside, and it hits him. Sergey, with his first pitch in nearly 3 months, drills Gindel in the leg, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Now this is Michael Bowden on the hill. This is not Matt Sergey. Now here is Terdoslavich. So we'll give you the information on Bowden. I had been told Sergey was the starter tonight. Maybe I should have looked a little closer at the lineup card. Check swing, and the first pitch good for a strike. It is 0-1. There was a late switch. This is Bowden's jersey number. The 1-0 pitch, 0-1 to Terdoslavich. Now we'll get clarification on it. It's Bowden's jersey number. Sergey was listed on the lineup card that I got earlier. Terdoslavich swings and misses, and that makes it now a ball and 2 strikes officially. We'll get the confusion straightened out. There could be a borrowed jersey. Fastball is up. And Terdoslavich 2-2. Waits on deck. Infield set, looking to turn 2. Terdoslavich swings and misses. He goes down on strikes, 1 out. Applin, who had a 3-run home run here last night to extend his latest hitting streak to 8, steps back in. Caleb Gindel on board, now with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. No score here tonight. So either there was a late switch on the mound, or there's a borrowed jersey to Applin. A called strike, 0-1. But Sergey clearly is on the lineup card, as I brought it back up, thinking I might have been crazy. Bowden ticketed to start tomorrow night from what we had been told. They may have moved him up a day. Applin with a swing and a miss. Bowden is 2-2 with a 1.70 ERA. 27 hits in 37 innings. A hit batter and a strikeout here in the bottom of the first. Giovanni Alfonso at short, Miles Schroeder at second. Richie Schaefer is the first baseman. Fastball up and away. It is 1-1 clear. And Steven Cardullo in right. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count on Applin. 1 out and a runner on board. We already have tonight's attendance, which was available because of the lengthy rain delay, 3479. Applin goes down on a pitch in the dirt. He is gone on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts, and with 2 outs, shortstop Michael Martinez will come to the plate. Martinez hitting .260 with 6 home runs and 34 driven in. He has half his home runs against High Point, including 1 in last night's game. Defense playing Michael Topol here. He swings away and fouls it back. It is 0-1. Bowden, if this is in fact him, has 46 strikeouts in 37 innings. And from this distance, I can't really tell whether it's Bowden or Sergey. Martinez turns on one, but hammers it foul. Couple of strikes on Michael. Gindel hasn't been able to budge from first base as the Barnstormers have not put a ball in play. 0-2. Here's the set. And the offering line drive left field for Michael Martinez, down for a base hit. Gindel will stop at second. And Casey Hobson gets a chance. 2 on for the Barnstormers, and Hobson stepping in. Casey with an infield base. He has to give the Barnstormers an early lead tonight. Two outs, 2 on. The set, and to Hobson inside, and it hits KC. Parker Morin will bat with the bases loaded, and 2 Barnstormers in the inning have been plunked by the first pitch.
The catcher, number 8, Parker Morin.
Found on the mound, and not Michael Bowden. He's wearing Bowden's jersey. We get clarification on that. We apologize for the confusion. They're loaded for Morin. Parker, 247 with 3 home runs. He hit the ball on the screws a couple of times last night, but nothing to show for it. Gindel's at third, Martinez at second, Hobson aboard at first. Sergey goes to work on Morin, and the first offering is at the knees, strike 1 call. Tonight, batting left-handed against Matt Sergey. Morin, a true left-handed batter. But Lancaster has all 5 switch hitters in the lineup tonight as well. Time called, Parker backing away. Looking to get the Barnstormers once again out to an early lead. Morin is 0 for 8 with the bases loaded on the year. First hit would be timely right now. 0-1. Instead, it is popped up shallow left center field. It's in no man's land, though. It hangs long enough for Quincy Lattimore to race in and make the catch, ending the inning. No runs on 1 hit with no errors. 3 runners left on base. And at the end of an inning tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium, there is no score.
At your favorite restaurant, salons.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124. There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
No score as we go to the second inning. The Barnstormers losing out on a bases-loaded chance in the first inning. 2 hit batters and a single. Not in the right order. Now it will be Lattimore, Schaefer, and Rosa in the top half of the second against Connor Overton. You want to talk about an entire press box going into panic mode. We were all there with Sergey wearing Bowden's number, since Bowden is ticketed to start tomorrow. Overton is off the outside, walk twice. Overton delivers, and the fastball is past Lattimore. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hour and a half, slightly longer rain delay before we could get things going here this evening. Now it is 1-1, and Overton Deals into the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Talked to Connor on the dugout report last night about pitching in his hometown. He loved it. Down in Richmond, Virginia with the Giants AA. Swung on and missed. Pitch had some late life to it. Overton strikes out Lattimore. Back-to-back Ks for Connor. And with 1 out, Richie Schaefer, the first baseman, will come to the plate. We didn't see Schaefer this 19th the first week of the season either. We've seen him in both series at High Point, and he has done some harm. Called strike from Overton. It's 0-1. 19 home runs for Schaefer on the year, among the league leaders, but nowhere near Telvin Nash, of course. Fastball for a second strike. It's 0-2. Speaking of York, the Revs have already been rained out tonight. Scheduled to play at home against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. They got hit very heavily over there, and that same system missed us. It went to our south and also kind of broke up as it came across the Susquehanna River. Ball waiting on deck. 1-2. The wind. Overton to the plate, and that is strike 3. Down by Connor Overton. And with 2 gone, Rosa, the designated hitter, will step in. 239 hitter is Rosa with 9 home runs, 31 runs batted in. And who, against the Barnstormers for the year, is only 7 out of 42, which is really tame compared to most of his teammates. High Point has won 12, and we got tonight's and 4 more, breaking 2 more in this series, and then 2 at High Point. High fly ball, right field, not hit well. It came off the end of Rosa's bat, and right there is Applin to put it away. Overton, half. There is still no score.
Hi, this is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information. National Team Generations.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a
Melvin Mercedes will be followed by Darian Sanford and Devon Torrance against Matt Sergey as we head to the second inning. Sergey last year was 4-5 with the Sugarland Skeeters and a 4.47 ERA. He had ties to Pete Incaviglia from the American Association, one of the first people signed by the Rockers as they began to build their ball club for 2019, and Jamie Keefe and crew have done a marvelous job at that. First pitch to Mercedes is slightly up for a ball, 1-0. They have a chance to be the Vegas Golden Knights of the Atlantic League. 1-0 pitch driven by Mercedes, foul down the left side out onto the hill, 1-1. Seeing as how we discussed the Golden Knights with Brian Harper, who's a huge fan, on the dugout report. You'll see Brian's truck decked out in Golden Knight stuff. 1-1 pitch, high and tight to Melvin. 2 balls and a strike. Bouncing ball toward the middle. Getting behind it, Miles Schroeder, not used to seeing him at second base, but he handles the play and throws out Mercedes. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. That will bring on Darian Sanford. Darian at 224, he has 18 runs driven in. And with a glut of outfielders. Applin's going to be in there every day. Gindle's going to be in there every day. Outside to Darian for a ball, 1-0. At such time as the Barnstormers would be out of a race, I think you're going to see Ross experiment with a lot more and some different combinations. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but the Barnstormers need to be winning the close ball games. That's been the difficulty. Ball 2 is high, 2-0. Sergey comes back. Sanford looks at a strike, which catches the top of the outside corner. And now it is 2-1. Long Island and York currently lead the set. York took over sole possession of first place last night with an 8-1 win over Southern Maryland, while Sugar Land was losing 7-5 to New Britain. And the lead in the wild card race belongs to these Rockers. Double win. It is full to Sanford with Devon Torrance waiting on deck. No score, bottom of the second here tonight. That's Sergey back into the motion. Here's the payoff pitch, and Sanford pops it up on the third base side into foul ground. Hector Gomez. He'll square up to make the catch. No real wind here since the storms have passed through. Well, that was an easy play for Gomez. 2 are out, and Devon Torrance coming to the plate, batting .232 after collecting 3 hits against the Rockers last night. He has 2 home runs. He has driven in 16. One of those home runs coming at the expense of the Rock Flea a month ago. Okay, peering around, working with 2 outs, nobody on base. And to Devon, high fly ball, left center field. Mitchell going to have to race back on this one, and he will make a nice over-the-shoulder catch heading toward the deep angle in left center field. Well done by Jared Mitchell. LSU won. Ohio the second inning, most well-hit ball of the game coming off the bat of Devon, and there is no score.
And see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer, making the best brands better.
Some survive it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and...
Miles Schroeder steps in to lead off the third inning, and he gets... Miles hitting .234 with 7 homers, 38 runs batted in, 1 for 3, and scored twice last night. Overton locates the inside corner, strike taken. It is 0-1. Connor has retired all 6 batters he's faced so far tonight. Nothing hit hard against him to this point. Now to Schroeder, 0-1, over but low, a ball and a strike. Hector Gomez was treated to the theme from the Adams family. Of course, Gomez Adams. Morin setting the target. 1-1. Knocked foul to the top corner of the screen on the third base side. The extended netting put in last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Schroeder. Giovanni Alfonso waits on deck. to Schroeder. Swing and a miss at off speed. Strikeout number 4. One gone, and Giovanni Alfonso will come to the plate.
Giovanni Alfonso.
Alfonso 236 with 25 runs batted in. I would have gone personally with the theme to Happy Days, since members of his family have been known as Fonzie. Edgardo last night, a 2-base hit to right center. Overall was 2 for 4 in the game. That was a big inning for the younger generation of Alfonso. High fly ball out to left, charging in Torrance. Devon is there. Fairly simple play. 2 up and 2 down. Catcher Frank Nigro will step to the plate. Well, last night, Jonathan Albaladejo retired the side in order the first time through. He allowed 8 base runners in 6 1/3 innings and 5 through the first 6. 2 outs. Here's Nigro. Swing and a miss at a potent fastball from Connor Overton. Nigro batting .119 with a home run. Is just 21 years of age, and maybe it's me at my advanced age, but he doesn't even look that old. High pop fly out the left field here. This could be a tricky play. Torrance streaking in. Martinez is out. Michael Martinez tumbling backwards along the left field line, but hanging on for the final out. Nothing doing for the Rockers in the top of the 3rd. We're through 2.5 and still no score.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Island 4-2, second half by a game and a half. Somerset is still very much in the playoff picture, not so much the second half race. They trail by 6.5 to Long Island, 5 to High Point. But they had the second best record in the league in the first half, and they're very much in the wild card race. The motion and the pitch to Caleb Gindel. That's torched down the right field line. That is headed for the wall. Played by Cardullo. Gindel is going to dig for his base. That was a huge gamble on the part for Caleb coming in. A leadoff base hit, but the Barnstormers lose the runner. Second Barnstormers hit of the ball game, and now Gindel's on-base streak is extended to a 17th game. Joe Turdoslavich stands in, a strikeout victim, back in the first inning. The pitch, breaking ball, good for a strike. It's 0-1. Actually, Gindel's streak extended as he was hit by a pitch his first time up. And now a 6-game hitting streak on top of the 17-game on-base streak. Sergey to Turdoslavich. It is a ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. We are scoreless here in the third inning. The Barnstormers have had all the base runners on 2 singles and 2 hit batters. 1 ball, 1 strike on Terdoslavich, is bounced home, and Nigro gets enough of it. I'll tell you what, Frank Nigro, 21 years of age, undrafted, not signed by a major league organization, coming out of a Division II program. And the young man has been very impressive in this league, and the Rockers love him. Here's the 2-1. Terdoslavich looks at a spinner off the inside corner. 3 balls and a strike. Sergey into the 30s on his pitch count. Well, the Barnstormers, as it turns out, would have gained absolutely nothing to have Gindel at second base. You didn't know that originally. So it's 1 out, 1 on. Applin steps in. Andrew struck out his first time up. 3:15 coming into the ball game tonight. Remarkably consistent hitter. Schaefer holding the runner at first, and Applin swings and misses against Sergey. No balls and a strike. Infield set up, double play depth. Applin's hit in 8 in a row coming into this evening. He looks at a second strike here from Matt Sergey. Andrew hasn't figured him out yet. Sugarland leading New Britain tonight, 2-0 in the bottom half of the 4th. Southern Maryland and York rained out. There goes Terdoslavich. Applin puts this in play, pops it up to left. Lattimore charging in. He'll make the catch. There's a long throw back to first base, fortunately offline to prevent Terdoslavich from being doubled up. Joe was already around second base and got under it. Lattimore had a long way to come in, but he got there. Terdoslavich had a longer way back, having to make the U-turn, but Lattimore's throw was offline and pulled Schaefer from the bag. Martinez stepping in. Michael lined a base hit to left his first time up. 3 for 5 for Martinez in this series. He's batting from his better side of the plate, the left side. He's hitting .299 as a left-handed batter. Terdoslavich leads off first with 2 outs. Martinez takes ball 1 off the inside corner. Flag is beginning to stir again and blowing out. The 1-0 sails upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Casey Hobson, the on-deck hitter for the Barnstormers. It looks like the ball is carrying pretty well here tonight based on how far Torrance's drive went in the second inning. And Martinez pops it up the chute. Nigro will toss the mask away, but the ball gets past the screen and into the seats. Fake never did let it go as he realized the ball was headed off the playing surface. Martinez up there, 2-1, 2 outs. Terdoslavich, the base runner. Not much has developed in this ball game so far. Matt Sergey to the plate, popped up foul again. Chasing it toward the seats is Gomez, and he'll run out of room. Now 2-2. All these guys on for the Barnstormers tonight, they've still only had 1 at-bat with an official at-bat with a runner in scoring position. First inning developed late, and they lose a base runner here in the 3rd. Martinez batting 2-2. Sergey ready to go from the set. The pitch is low. Terdoslavich free to roam at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 300 to that cozy picnic deck out in right field, the Haller Pavilion. 400 to straightaway center and 320 down the left field line. The dimension. 3-2 pitch is ball 4 down low. Tardoslavich advances to second. Martinez joins him on the bases. And Hobson will step in. Casey hit by a pitch his first time up. 2 hits off of Sergey. He has walked 2 and hit 2. All in 13 batters faced. 2 outs, 2 on for Hobson. Identical situation to the first inning, and he was drilled by the first pitch that came his way. Parker Morin in the on-deck circle for the Barnstormers. 2 outs, 2 on. Sergey works to Hobson. KC looks at a strike on the inner part of the plate. It is 0-1. Sergey's only work in a major league organization came at single A with the Oakland Athletics in 16 and 17. Been in the Frontier League prior to that, as well as the American Association. Into the dirt to Hobson on a check swing. It is 1 ball, 1 strike here, no score. The Barnstormers threaten again here in the bottom half of the third inning. But they haven't been able to come up with a productive base hit. First, Hobson awaiting the 1-1. And it is outside. Throw by Nigro behind Tardoslavich, and it gets away into shallow left field. Tardoslavich tries to get up and head to third. Slips and does a face plant. He's able to get back into second. A lot of near mishaps on that one play. Nothing came about for or against either ball club. 2-1, the count to Hobson. Batting for the red-clad Lancaster Barnstormers here tonight. High Point in what almost appears to be camouflage-style jerseys. Haven't seen the pattern up close. 2 balls and a strike to Hobson. Sergey ready to go. The breaking ball is popped up straight back, coming out of play. And the fans behind the plate wheel around, hoping for the chance at a rebound that does not come. 2-2 to Hobson. Right-hander comes to the set. Hobson will get ball 3 outside and low. So it is full. Runners get the go. Second straight 3-2 count. Looking to be able to capitalize on a chance, but if he walks, and it'll give Morin another shot. 3-2, the set, and the payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and a breaking ball inside, actually ticked it foul. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Barnstormers leave 2. We're at the end of 3. Here in Lancaster, still no score.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast.
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for
2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Game 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
For the Barnstormers, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 5 left, and zeros all the way across for the High Point Rockers so far tonight. Stephen Cardullo will face Connor Overton, leading off the fourth inning. Cardullo, a guy who is prone to having big games, a pair of 2-homer games against the Barnstormers. He's had 3 4-hit games on the year, including one here at Clipper Magazine Stadium back on July 16th. First offering, slides past the outside corner from Overton. Ball 1 and no strikes. Third game of the series coming up tomorrow at 7. Hopefully we'll get that started on time. We're having a lot of rain delays on weeknights as of late. Ball 2 to Cardullo. 2 balls and nothing. The pitch, hammered foul up toward the skyboxes on the third base side. Now it goes to 2-1. We have had an ice cream delivery. Cardullo batting 2-1. Center fielder Jared Mitchell waiting on deck. Overton ready to go. Cardullo looks at ball 3 off the outside corner. And this is about as close as Connor has been to allowing a base runner on the night. He has struck out 4 of the first 9. 2 outs. Morin setting the target. Cardullo out of an open stance awaits the 3-1. Pops it up. That's well back into the seats as we go to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cardullo, mentioned earlier this year, wears number 65 because that was the number assigned to him when he got to the Colorado Rockies. He has had that taste of Major League Baseball. There are a few in this lineup that have. Payoff pitch to him. Top half of inning 4 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 3-2 is on the way. That's spun foul and out of play. The battle continues to start off the 4th inning. Tomorrow night, the Barnstormers will have Nate Reed trying to tie Dwayne Pollock for the all-time franchise wins lead. Three-2 is on the way again. Cardullo pops it up. This one's in the infield. Hobson is there, and behind the mound, KC with the catch. Overton battles back to retire Cardullo. 1 out in the 4th. Jared Mitchell to the plate. Mitchell retired on a comebacker in the 1st inning. Ten in a row. He got the final 4. Scattered 4 singles that night against Somerset. To Mitchell, it is low. Ball 1, no strikes. He retired the first 9 in that ball game as well, and pitched all 7 innings with 2 outs and nobody on. The one leadoff runner was erased on a double play. Now to Mitchell. Fastball to the end. A 4-seam fastball, a little bit off of that. Overton dealing at about 92. He's got good stuff. Former 15th round draft choice of the Miami Marlins. Later worked in the Nationals organization before heading to the Giants, and he pitched in the American Association back in 2016. 5-1 for Sioux City there. Foul ball back, 1-2. And he has been a find for the Barnstormers. Still young, still a lot of upside. And somebody that, the way he is pitching right now, maybe getting a little too late. There's only 2 weeks at most left in the affiliated minor leagues. This ball cracked toward the gap in left center field. Running it down, Darian Sanford. Torrance just stepping in. Got to have speed in both left and Sanford playing out there. 2 men retired. Hector Gomez stepping in. Maybe not a look for this season except maybe winter ball, but somebody's got to be interested, I would think, in Connor Overton for next year. from what we have seen here. Just off the outside corner and a ball to Hector Gomez. It is 1-0. And the same's got to be true. The guy we're going to face Thursday for High Point, Dominic DeMasi, is in Double-A with the Indians. He's been marvelous when the Barnstormers have faced him. That is lined just past the outstretched glove of Michael Martinez and up the middle. Gomez spoils perfection for Overton tonight. Becomes a 2-out base runner here in the 4th inning. Quincy Lattimore will step in. Lattimore, a strikeout victim, back in the 2nd. This is not the Pennsylvania ballpark that Quincy Lattimore loves. It's 26 miles or so to our west-southwest. He has torn apart Peoples Bank Park. He's played 6 games there and has 5 home runs and 11 runs batted in. The Overton pitch is low, knocked down by Morin, keeping Gomez in place. You have to keep an eye on Gomez, though. He has 16 stolen bases for the year. And the worst situation he was in last week against Somerset. 1-0. Connor comes back, and he's below the knees with his next pitch to get to 2-0. First baseman Richie Schaefer on deck, who maybe doesn't have quite as much raw power as. Here's a 2-0. Fly ball, left field. Charging in is Torrance. He'll get there. And the inning goes nowhere for High Point. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We remain scoreless between the Lancaster Barnstormers.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfort baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Parker Morin leads off the Lancaster half of the 4th inning. We remain scoreless as the Barnstormers battle the High Point Rockers. High Point with the 12-3 advantage in the season series. The Barnstormers have had some games slip away against them late, as was the case last night. Morin fly to left with the bases loaded back in the 1st. Sergey fires outside, a ball 1-0. There are some similarities between this start for Matt Sergey and his start opening night pitches, but only allowed 3 singles to the Barnstormers. He walked 4. Swing and a miss by Parker. It is 1-1, and Lancaster having somewhat of a similar reaction to him tonight. He has walked 2, hit 2, but the Barnstormers having a hard time squaring things up. Gindel and Martinez, solid base hits. Torrance, a deep fly out. Morin awaiting the 1-1. Sergey comes in on the hands. A swing and a miss again. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lancaster's bats. Still in over a week, they failed to produce 10 hits in the game. Morin ticks it foul. It gets down in the dirt. Melvin Mercedes waits on deck. The Barnstormers had big hits last night, 6 runs on 9 hits. They had 4 extra base hits, including 2 home runs and a 2-run triple. Here comes the 1-2. Morin chases that out of the zone, a swing and a miss. And that is the now 4th strikeout for Matt Sergey. 1 out, Melvin Mercedes to the plate. Mercedes grounded out 4-3, back in the 2nd inning. Connor Overton and Matt Sergey, after the 95 or so minute rain delay, matching horns here tonight. First pitch off the inside corner to Melvin. It is ball 1-0. The Barnstormers needing to put together a lengthy winning streak if they're to get into any kind of a playoff chase. Ball 2 is inside 2-0. You talk to the guys downstairs. I think everybody that follows the Barnstormers, and certainly the guys in the clubhouse will agree to this, that this is the best the ball club has been all year long in terms of the ability to score runs, getting great starts, the defense, everything is in place except for the ability to win games in the late innings. That could kick in at any time, but as far as the talent, the ability to play the game, this is as solid as the team has been. Ball 3 is outside to Mercedes, getting Hood finally active. The additions of Ngope and Applin. Now to Mercedes, 3-0. He starts to turn and takes ball 4 inside. Sergey gives up his 3rd walk, and the similarities to opening night continue. Darian Sanford to the plate. He fouled out back in the 2nd inning. They have to think about Sanford attempting to lay down a bunt right now. Torrance has the hot hand in this series and against High Point in general. Low-scoring ball game so far. Nope, Sanford's going to swing away. He pulls a ground ball on the right side. Knocked down by Schroeder with a dive. It actually hit off his glove and then his face. And everybody's safe. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Miles Schroeder, we're not used to seeing him in the infield, but he plays just about everywhere. Dove for the ball. He might have dove a little early. Barnstormers, as a result, have 2 men on. Torrance took a ball deep to left center field his first time up. Jared Mitchell is going to challenge him to do it again. Now he backs up a little more. 2 on with 1 out. The Barnstormers have had 8 base runners tonight off Sergey in 3 1/3 innings, but still a 0 in the runs column. First pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Torrance had squared to bunt. The rotation play was on as Gomez charged home and Alfonso raced to cover 3rd. No balls and a strike to Torrance. Melvin Mercedes, the lead runner at second. Darian Sanford trailing at first. You've got plenty of speed to go around out there for the Barnstormers. The set by Sergey, the pitch, and that's rolled to second. Could be 2. Schroeder goes to Alfonso for 1, back to first. That will not double up Devon Torrance. Sanford out 4-6 on the force play, and Torrance fast enough to beat the relay throw by a step or 2. Now it's Caleb Gindel batting with runners at the corners and 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Gindel has been hit by a pitch, and he has singled to the wall in right, only to be thrown out trying to go into second base. Caleb Gindel, 75 runs batted in on the season. 396 with runners in scoring position. He relishes these opportunities. Mercedes and Torrance out to their leads. The pitch to Gindel.
got a ball presented by Ralph Wilhelm Spouting. Call Ralph Wilhelm today for your gutter and leak protection needs.
Right-hander works out of the stretch. Gendel ground ball toward the middle, but Schroeder is there. This will end the able to deliver. The Barnstormers still have been 2 more stranded by Lancaster. That's 7 for the ball game. And at the end of 4, we remain scoreless here in Lancaster.
Birthday time at Clipper Magazine Stadium, saying happy.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Richie Schaefer leads off the 5th against Connor Overton. Schaefer down looking back in the 2nd inning. A week ago, if you're familiar with the layout there, you know that home runs are not easy. There are nights the ball does carry. Just outside is Overton for a 1-0 count. And he is further off the corner here to make it 2-0. Via Sergei Rosa, the designated hitter, waits on deck, and then second baseman Miles Schroeder. The 2-0 pitch lined left field, and for the first time, a leadoff man will be on. Schaefer makes the turn at first. He'll hold up as Torrance is on the base hit. Schaefer aboard to start the 5th inning, and via Sergei Rosa will step in. Rosa fly to right field, back in the 2nd inning. We remain scoreless, but the opportunities so far tonight through the first 4 innings. That's 7 runners left on base, 0 for 4 with men in scoring position. Inside to Rosa for a ball. It is 1-0. They have left the bases loaded, 1st and 2nd, and 1st and 3rd in innings 1, 3, and 4 respectively. Ball 2 is now off the inside part of the plate. DeRosa, who steps back, 2-0. And some trouble brewing for Connor Overton. Healing bases, he has not tried. Hobson holding him, and he's out to a short lead to Rosa. It is ball 3. And Overton seems to be staring at an issue here in the top half of the 5th inning. Man who has thrown scoreless baseball 16 innings straight. Dealing 3-0 to the inside corner. Again, Rosa stepped back, but looks at a strike, 3-1. Rosa, a guy, you see him in the clubhouse. He appears to be a very studious fellow with the horn rim specs on. 3-1. And the Overton pitch is slammed deep to right center field. That ball is going to rattle off the boards. Applin slipped and went down. The ball will be recovered by Sanford. He's going to throw home, and that is well wide as Schaefer comes all the way around. High Point takes a 1-0 lead. And the shutout streak for Connor Overton is over. Rosa, off the 3-1 pitch, drives a double off the wall in right center field. The grass may still be a little slick from the rains earlier tonight. Applin went to go over and make the play off the wall, and he wiped out, leaving Darian Sanford to recover the ball in right field. And by the time he could fire back toward the plate, it was far too late. And at second with the double is Rosa, his 9th double, 32nd run batted in. Miles Schroeder, the switch-hitting utility man, playing second base tonight, stands in. Overton to the plate, is in at the knees for a called strike. It is 0-1. The first opportunity for High Point turns into a run, and the Rockers are a very opportunistic offense. They don't hit for a tremendously high average, but they score a lot of runs. They're second in the league behind York, with a much better pitching staff than the Revs. Inside for a ball, it's 1-1. Rosa inching his way off second base. The delivery is popped up third base side, trying to chase after it. Terdoslavich, he's over near the tarp and lunges back and makes the catch. It's a big first out. Schroeder goes by the rolled up tarpaulin. One out. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop, to the plate. Alfonso fly to left. And Devon Torrance, his first time up. 3 hits apiece now, but the extra base knock for the High Point Rockers, putting them into the lead. The Barnstormers have wasted 3 walks and 2 hit batters to this point on the night. To Alfonso, fouled at the dish, 0-1. Overton has still thrown fewer pitches than Sergey. And that seems to be the MO for Matt Sergey, at least from what we've seen this year. Running deep counts, but he's tough to hit. And that's not just the Barnstormers overall. He's given up just 7 hits. Fouled away by Alfonso. It's 0-2. Defense positioned straight away against Alfonso, who will use the entire field. Slender right-handed batter. Awaiting the no ball, 2-strike offering. And it's into the dirt, bouncing away from Morin, and galloping ahead to third is Rosa on the wild pitch. Barnstormers now will bring the infield in. It's the 5th inning, and High Point has taken a 1-0 lead here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Barnstormers had scored the first run in many games in a row since the first game of the road trip. High and inside, getting away from Morin, but staying near home plate. The pitch low bridging Giovanni Alfonso. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the High Point shortstop. Alfonso went to both the University of Tampa and Florida State. He grew up in Florida, though. Well, they say he was born in Caracas because he was born during winter ball. Swing and a miss. He grew up in Midland, Texas. Swing and a miss. Alfonso. Nigro's lone home run tied a ball game against the Barnstormers on the first Lancaster visit down to North Carolina. It's been great to go back to North Carolina. I was in the Carolina League for 4 years, and my home clubs were always in Virginia. Swing and a miss by Nigro to breaking ball. It is 0-1. I had fun going to Kinston, Durham, and Winston-Salem back in the day. And it's great to be back in that part of the country. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. The unfortunate part is, and I can't believe this, it breaks my heart, but I have not found within walking distance of the hotel down there any place that serves Carolina barbecue or banana pudding or any of that southern fare that I crave. So if anyone down in the High Point area knows of a place. Rosa holding on at third base. Once went to a place in Wilson, North Carolina, maybe about 14, 15 years ago or so. It was, I will have to say, the last time I've eaten so much that I had to loosen my belt after dinner. All that traditional North Carolina fare. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nigro. It slides down and away, 2-2. 1 run home for the Rockers here in the 5th inning in a 1-0 ball game. via Sergey Rosa is the runner at third base with 2 outs. Frank Nigro bats at 2-2. Target set by Morin. Overton ready to deliver, and the pitch, swing and a miss at the high fastball. Another strikeout for Overton. He chalks up his 6th, but High Point breaks into the lead. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. And the runner left at the half of the 5th inning with the score. The High Point Rockers 1, the Lancaster Barnstormers nothing.
Just a bit short, chicken.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with Pick Games from the pickings as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any Pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Turdoslavich, Applin, and Martinez for the Barnstormers in the bottom of the 5th as High Point has grabbed a 1-0 lead. That's been effective, certainly, and a bit more economical than he was here on opening night. Lancaster hasn't been able to cash in with a big hit at any point. Well, Turdoslavich leads off. He has struck out and walked, which is not an uncommon fate with Sergey on the hill. Right-hander into his windup, and to Turdoslavich 1-1. That's Sergey, born in Plantation, Florida. He is 30 years of age, tall and slender, listed at 6'40", 180. Working into his 5th inning, first start in nearly 3 months. Turdoslavich taking a ball outside, and it's 1-1. Right-handed action is underway behind Sergey in the left field bullpen. Joe Turdoslavich awaiting the 1-1. It's dealt low. Sergey dropping behind in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Lancaster with 3 singles in the game, 3 walks. 2 batters have been hit. Two and 1 to Turdoslavich. Sergey missing inside and low, and now Turdoslavich with a 3-1 count. Applin on deck. He's 0 for 2 in his bid to extend his most recent hitting streak to 9. He has the season high with 19 as a Barnstormer. Turdoslavich awaiting the 3-1, the signal given by Nigro. Sergey to the plate. It's fouled off. He ran it in on Turdoslevich's hands. And that is pretty much what has made Sergey so effective tonight. He's facing an entirely left-handed lineup. And he Destin Hood the evening off, at least to start. 3-2. Sergey getting the signal from Nigro. Another 3-2 pitch, and it's popped up behind the pitcher's mound. Signaling for it, the third baseman Gomez, who gloves it. It is out number one with Applin stepping to the plate. Andrew has struck out and fly to left. In the bottom of the fifth inning last night against Edwin Carl, Applin stepped in with 2 outs and 2 on and clubbed a 3-run home run that put the Barnstormers ahead 4-1 and gave them a great opportunity to win the ball game. Sergey to Applin. Roller on the right side of the infield, scooped up by Schaefer, and nobody covers first. That will extend Applin's hitting streak. A mental mistake on the part of Sergey. Schaefer was looking for him to cover. And Matt Sergey did not get over there. Applin across on an infield base hit, and now he has hit safely in 28 of his last 29. Barnstormers with yet another base runner. That is number 9. Michael Martinez is perfect tonight. He has singled and walked. Applin has 9 stolen bases on the year, and we could see him on the move right now. Infield sets, double play depth for the Rockers. 1 out, 1 on. The set by Sergey and to Martinez. First pitch swinging. He lobs it to shallow left. The shortstop Alfonso going back makes an awkward catch, but the catch is made. 2 outs in the inning. Casey Hobson will step in. He's been hit by a pitch and he is struck out. Against Sergey opening night, the Barnstormers did have Zach Schenk and Anderson De La Rosa in the lineup as right-handed batters. Ball outside to Hobson for a ball. It is 1-0. Applin inching his way off first. Schaefer holds him there. 1 ball, no strikes. The delivery nubbed back to the hill. 1 hop right to Sergey. Easy throw to first. And the Barnstormers are retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 5, it's 1-0 High Point.
Along with a dedicated professional designer. Work with
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach in Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trip's transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, birthday party and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Connor Overton takes us into the 6th inning, and he'll be facing the top of the order for the High Point Rockers. Stephen Cardullo, Jared Mitchell, and Hector Gomez. Had a trip down memory lane there for a moment. Edwin Gomez was with the Road Warriors a year ago. At the Major League scoreboard as we go through the top of the 6th inning, but first Cardullo stands in. He is 0 for 2 against Overton. who's allowed 3 hits and a run in 5 innings. It's 1-0 High Point. To Cardullo here, wrapped in a base hit into left field, starting off the 6th inning. 4 hits now off of Overton. Jared Mitchell will come to the plate at 0-2. In the big leagues tonight, in the 9th inning, the Pittsburgh Pirates hold a 4-1 lead over the Washington Nationals. Seattle 7-4 at Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 8th. Cincinnati is up 3-1 over San Diego, now 3-2 in the 6-2. They're in the home 8th in Boston. 5-1 Atlanta leading Miami in the top of the 8th inning. Throw to first, Cardullo ducking back in. And they just charged Overton with a balk. He may not have stepped off completely. Cardullo will go ahead to second base. Ross Peoples will come out and inquire. Brian DeBrouwer is headed over to explain to Overton what he did. Was that a violation of the new rules here in the Atlantic League? Ross is going to come out and ask. DeBrouwer with the explanation. Milwaukee leading St. Louis 2-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th. Cubs 4, Giants 3, top half of the 6th. Texas is up 2-0 over the LA Angels in the bottom of the 6th. Twins lead the White Sox 7-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Astros up 5-3 over the Tigers through 4.5. Finals from the afternoon, first of a doubleheader. Angels 5, Rangers 1. Mike Trout hit his 42nd. Jared Mitchell batting here with a runner at second and nobody out. The pitch skied foul down the third base line, and that will reach the seats. It is 0-1. Now High Point in position to tack on another run here in the 6th inning with a man at second, nobody out. Baltimore today defeated Kansas City 4-1. The Mets whacked the Indians 9-2. Steven Matz over Shane Bieber. Tonight the Yankees are at Oakland and the Blue Jays are in LA. Atkinson finding the range. No support from his teammates here tonight. 4 hits, all singles, no runs on the board. In danger of dropping behind by 2. Connor Overton glancing back. Here's the 0-2, and it is right there for strike 3 called. 7 strikeouts for Overton. Hector Gomez will step in. He is Cardullo with the lead off second. Mercedes creeping over, but the pitch will head home. It is low, ball 1 on Gomez. One ball and no strikes. We'll look back at Cardullo, now to the plate, way outside. 2-0, Quincy Lattimore, the left fielder, last night. He was 0 for 5 in the contest, but hitting .375 with 14 runs batted in against the Barnstormers on the year. 2 balls and nothing. Gomez swats a foul to Prince Street, and we go to 2-1. Overton, first 2 batters of the 5th inning. Now he's trying to prevent a second run from scoring tonight. 2 balls, 1 strike to Gomez. Cardullo out to the lead, bouncing around trying to distract Overton, who gives up a base hit into center. Charging the play is Sanford. Cardullo is coming. So is the throw. It's cut off in front of the plate by Morin. Throw back to second. Not in time to get Gomez. RBI base hit for Hector Gomez, his 15th run batted in against the Barnstormers, and now it is 2-0. Still with a runner at second base and 1 out. Quincy Lattimore to the plate. Lattimore is struck out and fly to left. The Barnstormers once again drop behind the High Point Rockers. Lancaster has not been able to win more than one game in any series against this High Point Ball Club all year. And remember, they are de facto an expansion team, but they've done a great job putting together a ball club, and Lancaster cannot figure out this High Point squad. Overton breaks it off to the inside corner. A strike on Lattimore. It's 0-1. Connor has now given up a run in each of the last 2 innings. No balls, 1 strike to Lattimore. Overton comes set, and his fastball was poured in there for strike number 2. Remember, Overton does not have a tremendous amount of starting pitching in his background. He had been relieving earlier this year in Richmond, into the dirt for a ball, 1-2 on Lattimore. So he is especially doing a iteration. One ball, 2 strikes on Lattimore. The pitch rolled past the mound. Mercedes will glove it and throw to first. That's the second out. Gomez on to third with 2 down, and Richie Schaefer will come to the plate. The Barnstormers would be in better shape here had there not been an attempt to get Cardullo at the plate, but I almost think that was forgivable. Schaefer singled into left and scored the run last inning. Overton had started 2 games for Richmond last year, his only 2 starts as a professional before joining the Barnstormers, but he's done very well in the role. And the Duck transition. Breaking ball back to the inside edge. It is 1-1 via Sergei Rosa, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Lancaster has a right-hander, Garrett Granitz, warming up in the bullpen. And High Point also with a right-hander who is, it appears, to be ready. Fastball is up and away to Schaefer. 2 balls and a strike. Gomez over at third base, looking to become the 3rd High Point run of the ball game. Two balls, 1 strike. Morin sets the target, and that is high and outside for ball 3. Rosa has the loudest hit of this ball game so far. He's on deck. I don't know if that's an encounter the Barnstormers necessarily want, but it could be in the offing. Three and 1. Wandering up the line from third is Gomez. Schaefer awaits the pitch, and it's on its way. Swinging a foul ball back right off the very tip of Schaefer's bat. 3 and 2. Schaefer, one of the North Carolina-born players on this club. He is from Charlotte. Three balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Gomez not forced off the bag. The pitch swung on and missed. Morin is going to have to fire to first base. It is there. Schaefer is retired, and Unn is on the board on 2 hits with no errors. And the runner left at third base. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. High Point's lead has grown slightly. The score is 2-0 in favor of the Rockers.
This is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to how you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home. Regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
High Point has gone to the bullpen and summoned right-hander Trevor Frank, who was the closer earlier this year. But it may very well have been the Barnstormers who knocked him out of that role. Lancaster has had success against Frank. Overall, the right-hander 3-3 with a 3.24 earned run average. He had 12 saves on the campaign, but the Barnstormers have, it's 2 out of the 4. Lancaster's gotten him for 7 hits and 5 runs in 4 1/3 innings. Frank from El Cajon, California, 6-footer, facing Parker Morin, leading off in the bottom of the 6th. And the first pitch is driven toward the gap, right center field. Racing over is Mitchell. It is into the gap, and Morin is racing into second. He'll be in with a leadoff double. First extra base hit for the Barnstormers tonight, hit number 5 overall. Lancaster with a man in scoring position and nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5 hits apiece now, but the Barnstormers trail by 2. Matt Sergey worked 5 innings. He allowed 4 singles, walked 3, struck out 4. He also hit 2 batters, but kept the Barnstormers off the board. The batter is Mercedes, who was grounded to second and walked. The infielders come in to defend the bunt, and a box on an inside fastball from Trevor Frank. It is 1-0. Lancaster trying to find the offense here in the 6th inning. They've had base runners. They have not been able to push anybody home. 1 ball and no strikes on Mercedes. Frank checking back to the runner. And to Melvin, smashed to second, bobbled by Schroeder. It almost looked like he was looking to go to third. He recovered the bobble before the ball touched down again. Mercedes grounds out, but he does advance the runner. Darian Sanford trying to drive in Parker Morin from third base with only 1 out. It appeared for a split second anyway like Miles Schroeder thought about firing to third base in an attempt to get Morin over there. Sanford coming to the plate. The corners are going to come in. It's not the tying run at third, so there's no point bringing the middle infielders in, but they're closer than they normally would be. Sanford reached on an infield base hit back in the 4th inning. Diving try by the second baseman Schroeder couldn't come up with the play. And now Darian tries to hold his swing and can't on a first pitch fastball up high. It is 0-1. Devon Torrance waits on deck. Lancaster tonight 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. It's a category in which this ball club has generally done well this season, but they haven't been able to find the ticket tonight. Down by a pair here in the 6th inning. To Sanford, the 0-1 is another fastball up top. This time he holds off on the swing. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Lancaster center fielder. Sanford was 5 for 14 on the last road trip. Seeing his first at-bats of this series. He pinch ran last. Darian bats 1 and 2. He's got to focus on getting the ball in play here. Parker make the play on Sanford. Darien this year just 6 for 14, driving in the runner from third with fewer than 2 outs. In the past, he has had a much higher success rate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Darien from Trevor Frank. Right-hander ready to go. And he delivers. Sanford swings and misses at the high fastball. Second out of the inning, and it's all up to Devon Torrance, who is 0 for 2.
The rank, plumbing, heating, and cooling hot players. Let's see here, Devon Torrance.
Lancaster all night long has had runs sitting out there. They have had a man in scoring position in 4 different 6 chances to get a run home. This is the first time they've had a chance to get a run home on an out, and that didn't happen. Torrance digging in. He's hit the ball well tonight again against High Point. Frank to the plate. A check swing by Devon Torrance, and they'll appeal to third, and Devon gets rung up as well. No balls and 1 strike. 2-0, High Point leading, bottom of the 6th inning. 4 singles and a double for both ball clubs. The Barnstormers have 3 walks, 2 hit batters to go along with that. But a wild pitch wasn't so instrumental. The balk was in the top half of this inning. 0-1 to Torrance. He takes a swing and fouls it at the plate. That was a very late decision to go after the pitch. Torrance finds himself in the hole, 0-2. They're going to watch for the bunt. If he gets it down, he's going to drive in the run. If he can outrun it, the corners are back. Morin up the line from third with 2 outs. Devon bats at no balls and 2 strikes. Trevor Frank trying to wiggle out of the inning. The right-hander ready to go, 0-2. Torrance swings away, lines this to right field. It's in for a base hit. And the Barnstormers are on the board, so he didn't bunt. He swung away. And Torrance, who has done well against High Point all year, is able to make this a 2-1 ball game and get Caleb. Lancaster steps in. Gindle has been hit by a pitch. He is single to right, and he is grounded to second. Torrance with his 17th run batted in on the campaign, his 5th against the Rockers. He leads off first. Gindle stands at the plate. Here's the motion. Frank's pitch, and Gindle had home run notions. A swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. Joe Trdoslavich, the third baseman in the on-deck circle for the Barnstormers. Caleb Gindle with one of the Barnstormers' 6 hits here tonight. 17-game on-base streak for Caleb, and now a 6-game hitting streak intact. 0-1. Frank comes to the belt, and the runner goes. The pitch is high. The Nigro throw off to the wrong side of the bag, but still in time. It looked like Torrance's slide came up short. And Caleb Gindle will be leading off the 7th for the Barnstormers. 1 run, 2 hits with no errors, nobody left on base. Through 6, the Rockers still lead, but now 2-1.
When in need of new appliances for your home, come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County dealer making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in
The constant energy, the sun made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Matt Marksbury comes on for the 7th inning for the Barnstormers. Connor Overton, another very strong start. Maybe not quite as top-notch as the last two, but he gives up only 5 hits and 2 runs in 6 innings. Doesn't walk anybody. And he strikes out 8. Negative quality start. It is 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 3 left for High Point. The Barnstormers a run, 6 hits, no errors, and Lancaster has stranded 8. Here is via Sergei Rosa leading off the 7th against Southpaw Matt Marksbury, whose last appearance did not go well Sunday afternoon in York. Prior to that, he had been magnificent. The first pitch breaking ball is a strike on Rosa. It is 0-1. Marksbury has not seen High Point too much. Only his 4th appearance against the Rockers, but his 44th overall. 5-4 with a 4.44 ERA. Ground ball headed up the middle, and a base hit into center for Rosa leading off here in the 7th inning. Miles Schroeder, the second baseman, will turn around to Bannister. Haven't really mattered. Top of the order, due up in the bottom half of the 7th for the Barnstormers. Gendel, Turdoslavich, and Apsey, Trevor Frank. Nobody else warming up in the bullpen right now for High Point. Schroeder stands in. He is struck out and fouled out. The first pitch curveball misses inside. And to Schroeder, it is 1-0. It's not immediately available, the Rockers inning by inning score, but I would imagine that if you look at the scope of this season, they continue to score more runs as the game goes along. And we've seen it tonight. Overton, the shutout through the first 4, gave up a run in the 5th, a run in the 6th. Leadoff man is on here in the 7th. Another breaking ball, good for a strike this time. And to Schroeder, it's 1-1. Marksbury comes back with a fastball line drive off the glove of the diving third baseman, Turdoslavich, trickling through into left field, and a base hit for Schroeder. Runners are at first and second with nobody out for Giovanni Alfonso, who is 0 for 2. Alfonso has flied out and struck out. You almost have to anticipate a bunt here. High Point with the 2-1 lead in the 7th inning, and one seeing eye single up the middle, and that one blistered off the bat of Schroeder. Plavich go through some signs in the event of a bunt play. Right-handed batting catcher Nigro is scheduled next, but I don't see him out there right now. There's the bunt, and it's pushed past Hobson and rolls foul up the first baseline. Hobson was charging, and Alfonso slapped the bunt past him, which would have been incredibly effective had it stayed fair, but it touched down right about the edge of the grass and went sideways. Nigro is out in the on-deck circle. 2-1 High Point, and the Rockers threatened to break it open here in the 7th. They scored 7 runs in the last 3 innings last night. There's a bunt. It is popped up. Morin will make a sliding catch coming out along the first baseline. Terrific play for Parker Morin. Put a star by that one in the scorebook. Simply strike 2 on Alfonso, but that picks up the out without High Point being able to advance the runners. Nigro is the scheduled hitter, but I don't know if that's who we're going to see. It looks like he's being called back, and a pinch hitter is emerging, and this is the other catcher, Matthew Jones. Nigro had been 0 for 2. Rosa at second, Schroeder at first with 1 out. And we're going to have a counter move on the part of the Barnstormers. Ross Peoples coming out.
Number 17, Matthew
That will be all for Matt Marksberry, who gives up 2 singles, gets the popped-up bunt. Garrett Granitz is coming on. The wheels are spinning in a tight ball game here in the 7th inning. It's 2-1 High Point with runners at first and second, 1 out. And we'll get a chance to bring you the following.
Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. On everybody! Localflavor.com, Local Flavor. Localflavor.com, Local Flavor.
Garrett Granitz, the submarine throwing right-hander, has come on here in the 7th inning in a delicate situation. The Barnstormers down by 1, 2-1 the score, and High Point possessing runners at first and second, 1 out. The batter is Matt Jones, one of the catchers for the Rockers. Jones had a huge game last night. 1 for 2 officially with a walk and a sacrifice fly. He drove in 4 runs going into last night. He only had 10. Granitz will be an interesting challenge for him, although Jones is the far more veteran of the 2 catchers, not including Schroeder. It's been a while since we've seen Miles behind the plate in our matchups against High Point. Second, and Schroeder at first with 1 out. Matt Jones from Wheat Ridge, Colorado originally, 27 years of age, and he has been deadly against the Barnstormers, though overall not great numbers. 207 with a home run and 14 driven in. That home run was huge last night, both in its distance and its effect on the ball game. A 3-run shot in the 7th inning that carried out field with that spacious left field here in Lancaster. 1 ball, no strikes to him from Granitz. Garrett comes back and misses the inside corner, falling behind 2-0. Earlier this year, Matt Jones was with Reno and Jackson in the Arizona farm system. He had been with Arizona since 15. Foul ball back to the screen. It is 2-1. 2 years ago with Visalia in the California League, he hit .237 with 10 home runs. Somehow coaching in the Arizona system and was almost a player coach there at AA for a while. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count on Jones. Granitz dips down, brings it home, and it's past the inside corner for ball 3, and an opportunity perhaps for Steven Cardullo to bat with the bases loaded. He waits on deck. Rosa off second, Schroeder off first with 1 out on the fouled bunt. Jones awaiting the 3-1. Granitz will bring it home, and again he's off the inside corner and loads the bases. Granitz gives up the first walk by a Barnstormers pitcher in the game. Garrett coming off a series against the York Revolution where he was superb, 2 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit. And in his last 5 appearances, 2 hits and 1 unearned run in 5 2/3 with a run scored. Rosa at third, Schroeder at second, Jones aboard at first, and he hits Cardullo. A run will score. It's 3-1. Now, the Barnstormers had gotten back to within 1 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They give a run right back, and the bases remain loaded with 1 out for Jared Mitchell. This is not what Ross Peoples had envisioned when he made the change to Granite's. But a walk on 5 pitches and a hit batter on the first pitch later, and a run has been forced home. Mitchell stands in at 0 for 3. Rockers lead from everywhere, and to Jared Mitchell, the first pitch is up high for ball 1. Schroeder up the third. Jones at second. Cardullo, the runner, at first. He has just picked up his 58th run, batted into Mitchell. High fly ball, right center field. Back goes Sanford. Back goes Applin to the wall, and the walls will not contain it. A grand slam for Jared Mitchell, and it is now a 7-1 ball game. And I'm probably going to have to look back through the record books, and I can't give you a firm answer on this right now, but I have to believe that Jared Mitchell is the first batter to hit a grand slam against the Barnstormers for 2 different teams in one season. A grand slam for Mitchell to right Sockers lead. 2 runs charged to Marksberry and 3 to Granite's. 1 out, nobody on for Hector Gomez. Lancaster no longer in this game. Granite's is outside for a ball on Gomez. It is 1-0. It's happened in a blink here in the 7th inning. Fouled away to the right. Gomez bats at 1-1. The Barnstormers have a long way back. We've seen it's doable, and the ball is carrying. Lancaster will have to build some pretty big innings now. That's Mitchell's 7th home run of the season. He has hit 3 of them here. Swung on, foul tipped, and to Gomez, it's 2-2. But I can't even fathom that anybody else has ever accomplished what Jared Mitchell just did. In a grand slam against the Barnstormers, representing 2 different teams in the same year. In on the hands of Gomez and beaten foul. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last night, 7 runs for High Point in the last 3 innings. Tonight, 5. What does Jamie Keefe do to keep his batters fresh so that they can do this night in and night out? And it seems like they do, despite all the heavy travel. Ground ball left side, that gets through. Gomez with his 3rd straight hit, and the onslaught here in the 7th inning continues. Quincy Lattimore will come to the plate. He is 0 for 3. Lancaster gets more action going in the bullpen. And we may see Caleb Gindel before this night comes to a close. Gindel hasn't pitched since July 12th, but he did warm up a bit a couple of days ago in York. Barnstormers down by 6 here in the 7th inning. Granite's delivers, and he is off the inside corner to Lattimore. He can't find that spot in there. It's what got him in trouble against Jones to begin with. Granite's is yet to get an out to Lattimore. Ball 2 off that inside corner. 2 balls and nothing. This is the 5th batter faced by Granite, so Russ could take him out whenever. 1. Mitchell 4 for 6 with 2 homers and 6 runs batted in here at Clipper Magazine Stadium back on May 7th, representing Sugarland. Breaking ball twists across, and now Lattimore is even with Granite. It's a 2-2. Stephen Cardullo has the only other grand slam against the Barnstormers this year. That was off of Christian Meister on June 20th. And Mitchell with 2 of them. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Gomez inching his way off first. To Lattimore, here comes the 2-2, and that is strike 3 call. Granite's able to record the 2nd out of the inning. 9 strikeouts for Lancaster pitching tonight. Overton had gotten 8. Now here is Richie Schaefer, who is 1 for 3 and has a run scored. Infield swung around to the left, the outfield not so much, and a first pitch strike from Granites. It is 0-1. Breaking ball fouled to the screen, and a second strike. It's 0-2. Stadium, as you probably can tell, has just about emptied out. We had a 95-minute or so rain delay before we ever got underway tonight. Top of the 7th, 7-1 High Point. The pitch banged foul to the right by Schaefer. Still 2 strikes in the count. Lancaster had just scored a run in the bottom of the 6th to pull within 1. Sam Runyon now warming up in the bullpen for the High Point Rockers. With Gindel, Terdoslavich, and Applin scheduled, the Granites pitch is poked out the left field, traveling but playable. Back goes Torrance for the out. That ends the inning, but it's 5 for the Rockers. They do it on 4 hits, no errors, 1 man left on, and we head to 1 High Point.
Like craft beers, Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Caleb Gindel, Joe Terdoslavich, and Andrew Applin, and all of a sudden the Barnstormers have a much longer road back in this game. Following the grand slam by Jared Mitchell in the top of the inning, Frank goes to work on Gindel, and the first pitch fastball is outside, ball 1 and no strikes. Frank gave up the run last inning, following 5 shutout frames for Matt Sergey. Gindel tonight, 1 out of 2, hit by a pitch back in the first inning. 1 ball and nothing. Gindel looking at ball 2 below the knees, 2-0. Terdoslavich 0 for 2 with a walk, and Applin 1 for 3 on an infield single, and Sergey did not cover first base. Set to follow in this bottom of the 7th inning. 2 balls and no strikes. The motion and to the plate. Fastball runs high and outside. Frank doing the last thing he wants to do right now, and that's get the Barnstormers started with a leadoff walk. He remains out there with Runyon throwing behind him in the bullpen. 3 balls and nothing. Frank stepped into a base runner for the 3rd time tonight. And that's what the Barnstormers have to be looking for right now, is a building block to try and get back here in the 7th inning. 2 singles and a walk loaded the bases. A hit batsman forced in 1 run, and then Mitchell unloaded. The grand slam making it 7-1 in the top of the inning. Now Terdoslavich digs in and fouls it off to the left. No balls and a strike. Joe looking for his first hit of the series. He is 0 for 6 with a couple of walks. High Point has handled Trdoslavich better maybe than any other club in the league. He's batted only .196 in the season series. 1 strike to Trdoslavich with Applin due next. Lancaster needing some runs here in the 7th inning. Fouled away again, and Trdoslavich is down 0-2. Gindel reaching base to lead off an inning for the 3rd time in the game. He's in the lineup tonight as the designated hitter. Caleb started the night 9th in the league in on-base percentage. Trdoslavich was 10th. No balls, 2 strikes to Joe. Bouncing ball to first. That is handled by Schaefer. Out at second. The throw back to first gets away from Trevor Frank covering and goes out of bounds. Oh, it'll be an E6. Trdoslavich safe on the fielder's choice, moving ahead as Gindel is erased 3-6 at second base. But it's still an out for High Point. They'll take it. Andrew Applin comes to the plate, 1 out of 3. He's got a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Ninth game in a row in war in his 19-game streak that he had earlier. He was 29 for 74. Frank starts and then breaks contact with the rubber. They're not terribly concerned about the base runners here with a 6-run lead. Meanwhile, Lancaster has action. Looks like Alejandro Chacin in the bullpen. Frank looking back at Trdoslavich to Applin, swinging a foul. Andrew trailing by a strike here. 6 hits for the Barnstormers in the game. They're looking for a few more. At the second consecutive night, the Barnstormers have pitched very well for 6 innings against High Point and then had the game get away in some extent in the latter innings. They've given up 8 runs in the 7th inning in this series. To Applin, 0-1, foul to the screen again. Very quickly, it's 0-2. Michael Martinez is in the on-deck circle. His first time in the cleanup slot with Destin Hood sitting out tonight. Applin bats 0-2. Frank working from the stretch. A look back at Trdoslavich. And to Applin, fastball upstairs. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Barnstormers have left 8 runners stranded for the game. High Point just 4. The Rockers, a team that can just score runs in bunches. They don't have the league's best record, and they do have the league's best pitching, which is a strange combination. They statistically are the best overall club, but only the second best record. Applin slices a fly ball toward the left fielder Lattimore. He's jogging in for the catch. That's out number 2, and it leaves the inning. The Rockers, as a team, 279 with runners in scoring position. That's not incredible. 254 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. But boy, do they drive in runs with those. The kings of the multi-run hits. Ball outside to Martinez. It's 1-0. The second High Point grand slam against the Barnstormers this year. One and 0. The count to Martinez. Casey Hobson waits on deck. 1 ball and nothing. Martinez holds on the swing, but the pitch gets the zone. It's 1-1. Josh Bell now coaching third with Troy Steffi at first. Ross Peoples running things from the dugout. This was such a pretty game through the first 6 innings. And then Mitchell unloaded. Martinez foul tips that. It's 1-2. In 1 ball, 2 strikes. Frank to the plate, a swing and a miss. Michael Martinez goes down, and in the inning, no runs, no hits, an error, and a man left in scoring position. 7 in the books tonight. It's 7-1 High Point.
Hello,
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru outdoor experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Alejandro Chacin comes in for the 8th inning. The 4th pitcher used by the Barnstormers tonight. Garrett Granitz, 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits and 3 runs. Walked 1 and struck out 1. Alejandro taking over here in the 8th. Chacin is in his 32nd game, 1-4 with a 5.65 earned run average. Sergey Rosa will lead off against him in the 8th. Rosa started last inning against Matt Marksberry with a ground single up the middle, and the roof fell in. 5 runs home for the Rockers last inning, 7-1 our score. Rosa leading off at 2 for 3. The wind, and Chacin missing the plate to the outside for a ball. It is 1-0. Chacin comes back and misses the inside corner for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Mitchell's earlier grand slam came off Logan Sawyer, who's had trouble with Sugarland, and really nobody else. Fastball is outside. Rosa bats 3-0. Schroeder on deck. Rosa takes a strike. Now the count to him is 3-1. Taking a look at the rest of the Atlantic League scoreboard again. Southern Maryland and York rained out. Long Island came back to defeat Somerset 6-4. And New Britain came back to defeat Sugarland 3-2. High Point just trying as Long Island wins the second half in the Liberty division. High Point would rather win the division, but a double winner is likely to give the wild card spot to High Point, or at least it would appear that way right now. They would still have to fend off Somerset. That's if York wins the second half in the Freedom division. York now with a lead of a game and a half. Sugarland had caught them over the weekend when the Barnstormers had won 2 in a row. fouled off. 3-2 to Rosa. This homestand has gotten off to a tough start. The Barnstormers have just been trashed for the most part by High Point this season. This is the one season series where the run differential is staggering. Check swing by Rosa. He takes the walk. Ball 4 is inside. Leadoff man is on to start the 8th inning. The 4th consecutive inning in which High Point's leadoff man has reached base. They have scored in the other 3. The Rockers have outscored the Barnstormers 98-59 now in 16 ball games. They have won some one-sided games, and they have won some close games. The Barnstormers have only won 3 out of the first 15 and trail here by 6. A ball is outside on Schroeder. He is 1 for 3. 1-0. Ground ball to the shortstop. Hustling around behind it. Martinez out at second. Mercedes back to first. That will not be in time for the double play. Schroeder safe at first on the fielder's choice. Rosa retired 6-4. He is Giovanni Alfonso, who is 0 for 3. Parker Morin made a splendid catch out along the first baseline in foul territory on Alfonso's popped-up bunt last inning. And when that occurred, they thought the Barnstormers had a great chance to get out of that inning unscathed and keep the deficit at 1. And then the inning more or less got away. Swing and a miss to Alfonso at the slow slider from Alejandro Chacin. It is 0-1. Low and outside for a ball, 1-1. Here's a line drive knocked down up the middle by Mercedes. He picks it back up, throws to first, and gets Alfonso. A wonderful play by Melvin Mercedes, fully extended on that line drive. He got to it up the middle and was able to knock it down and pick it up at his feet. 4-3. Nicely done by Melvin. 2 outs now with Schroeder at second, and Matthew Jones will come to the plate. Cardullo out in the on-deck circle. 7-1 High Point here in the 8th inning. Schroeder leads from second. Here's playable. Hobson Dean and his defense in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left for the Rockers. Bottom of the 8th coming up. The Barnstormers trailing 7-1.
With the hashtag What Makes You Smile, take a look on the video board. See your Smile Builder selfie.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Sam Runyon, who is another North Carolinian on this High Point roster. He hails from Asheville. Takes over in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runyon spent some time, a couple of years, with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and then gravitated back to his home state. He doesn't have tremendous numbers, 3-2, with a 5.52 earned run average on the year. Casey Hobson leading off the bottom of the 8th against him. Trevor Frank went 2 innings. He gave up 2 hits and a run, walked 1, struck out 2. Hobson 0 for 2 tonight. He's been hit by a pitch. Runyon to the plate. And the fastball is there for a called strike. It is 0-1. The delivery to Casey is being played to Pull, and this time a breaking ball slider across for a second strike. It is 0-2. Top of the 9th, Cardullo, Mitchell, and Gomez scheduled for High Point. The Barnstormers need to rally in a big way here. Swung on and missed. Hobson is gone on strikes. That's 7 for High Point pitching tonight. 1 away. Parker Morin comes to the plate. Morin with a double and a run scored. Rockers guilty of the only error of the ball game, but it was inconsequential. It did not allow a man to reach base. The offering is low. It is ball 1 to Morin. 1 ball and no strikes. Ball loose from the Lancaster bullpen as Ross has somebody else warming up down there, and I think that may be Gindel. It is Caleb throwing in the bullpen. He has not pitched since the 12th of July. Ground ball off the end of the bat. Morin's grounder handled by Schroeder. 2 outs in the inning. The bat cracking on that contact, and Melvin Mercedes now will step in at 0 for 2 with a walk. Barnstormers had such a great road trip and a terrific first 6 innings of the homestand last night. But now the ball club has been outscored 14-1 in just a little over a game. In for a strike to Mercedes, 0-1, 2 outs, nobody on. In the bottom half of the 8th inning, Melvin being played shallow all the way around in the outfield. He drives the ball to left, but Lattimore is right there for the nothing across in the bottom of the 8th. We're at the end of 8 with High Point up 7-1.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers has to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
For the first time since the 12th of July, Caleb Gindel will come on to pitch. He is 0-1 with a 7.5 ERA. This will be his 14th appearance of the season. Cardullo, Mitchell, and Gomez top of the order to face Caleb here in the ninth inning. Is a batter tonight. Gindel is 1 out of 2, and he will bat in the bottom of this inning. High Point broke this one open with the 5-run seventh. Gindel to face Cardullo. He drove in a run, being hit by a pitch in the seventh. He scored 2 and driven in 1 at 1 for 3 in the ball game. Gindel into his motion. His first pitch is tagged to left center field. It's carrying back. Goes Sanford. Sanford to the fat part of the ballpark, and he is there to make the catch right up against the UPMC sign. Cardullo hit that ball well, and it is traveling here tonight. He pressed Darian Sanford all the way back into the vinyl at 400 feet plus from home plate. 1 out, and Michael Russell will bat for Jared Mitchell, who hit a grand slam in the 7th inning. He's done enough for tonight. And my guess is that Russell goes to second and Schroeder goes to center for the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-0 pitch, fastball inside and low, and a 2-ball, no-strike count. A 6-run lead for High Point in front of a virtually empty stadium now. With a 95-minute rain delay earlier tonight, Gindel is off the inside corner. And the advantage in the count to Michael Russell. The scoreboard has gone to all hashtags. Now here we are. Well, I guess it's 3-0. Gindel to the plate, and he walks Russell. 1 out base runner, bringing on Hector Gomez.
Third baseman Hector Gomez.
Connor Overton did not walk a batter, and he gave up only 5 hits and 2 runs. The relief staff has walked 3, hit a batter, given up 4 hits and 5 runs. This whole season remains a puzzle. There's no consistency to the bullpen. Breaking ball for a strike. It's making Ross crazy. I will tell you that. About the only steadiness out there for any lengthy period of time really has been Schumann since coming back off the disabled list. Foul ball back. It's 0-2 on Gomez. And from what I understand, Scott will be the closer, at least for the time being. He wasn't going to be used tonight anyhow because he's thrown the last 2, or it would have really taken a big situation for him to get out there. Up and away from Gindel to Gomez. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Sanford, Torrance, and Gindel in the bottom of the 9th inning. Caleb Gindel brings it home. The fastball way upstairs. That came in at 90. It's 2-2. Gindel, and we've talked about this throughout the season when he has pitched, is not kidding around. This is serious business for him. Ground ball shortstop, could be 2. Martinez has trouble getting rid of it. The Mercedes for 1, back to first, and they double up Gomez. 6-4-3 on the double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And at 11:09 in the evening, fans get discount shrimp. We will be headed to the bottom of the 9th inning with the score 7-1 High Point.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible?
LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
A 7-1 lead. The left hand in 32 games and 35 innings. Darian Sanford will lead off from the right side of the plate. The Barnstormers need 6 here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Lancaster checked on just 6 hits tonight and 2 in the 6th inning off of Trevor Frank, but ever since the 5-run 7th, there has been no life. Gindel with a walk, that's been it. Well, Sanford 1 out of 3. Starting off here in the bottom of the 9th, Clark to the plate, and the fastball is outside for ball 1 and no strikes. Sam Runyon pitched a 1-2-3 8th inning for High Point, striking out 1. Here comes the 1-0. That's taken for a strike. Sanford batting at 1-1. The Barnstormers looked so great on that road trip, but now it almost seems like it's back to the drawing board again. Sanford rips this, foul down the left side. Bidding for a double. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Darian. Torrance, who has the only Barnstormers RBI tonight, waits in the on-deck circle. One, 2. Clark to the plate. Sanford swings and he misses. The tag applied if it was even necessary. 1 out here in the 9th inning. The 8th Barnstormer to strike out. Torrance will come to the plate. 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Torrance has knocked in 3 in the series. Gindel's on-base streak and a smaller hitting streak, Applin's hitting streak, have both been extended tonight. A couple of the positives in this game. Another great start for Connor Overton. It's 7-1, bottom of the 9th, just 2 outs left of the Barnstormers, and first pitch fastball is good. Torrance trails 0-1. Air has gotten still again here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. At times, a breeze has picked up. It was actually quite comfortable here when the showers were around. Even before they came in, a nice breeze had stirred and the ballpark cooled off slightly. Now it's, to say the least, sultry once again. 1 ball, 1 strike to Devon. He hit the ball hard back in the 2nd inning also. He goes chasing a pitch down low. Clark has him at 1-2. Waits on deck. He had a 3-batter inning. Now to Torrance, 1-2. He goes down on the same pitch Sanford did. Sharp breaking ball down and in. Clark has fanned 2 in a row. And Gindel is the final hope for the Barnstormers here tonight. Again, he's been a base runner 3 times in the game. Hit batter, single and a walk. Barnstormers, game 3 of the series tomorrow night, sending Nate Reed to the mound against Michael Bowden in the arguably same jersey that Matt Sergei wore tonight. Terdoslavich on deck. Gindel has to start something enormous with 2 outs and the first 2 batters of the inning having struck out. To the plate, line center field, dropping in front of the charging Schroeder. Caleb Gindel on for the 4th time, his 2nd hit. Terdoslavich to the plate, 0 for 3 with a walk. And he'll turn around to bat from the right side. Lancaster 7 hits in the ball game tonight. They just have not been able to piece anything together. They got the lone run in the 6th inning on a double by Morin and a 2-out RBI single for Torrance. In between, a ground out by Mercedes that moved Morin to 3rd. Fastball up and away to Joe. Ball 1-0. With a 5-run top half of the 7th inning. Broke this game open. The Barnstormers have not been able to respond in any major way unless they can do it with a midnight hour effort, figuratively and almost literally. 2 balls and no strikes, the count on Terdoslavich. Applin, the left-handed batting right fielder, waiting on deck. Here comes the 2-0, fouled back into the padding. 2-1 on Terdoslavich, the 3rd baseman. I can't recall if Gindel has any other base hits as a pitcher, because usually he throws the final 3 outs of a game, so he hasn't had too many trips to the plate. John Anderson, maybe before tonight, the last Barnstormer pitcher with a base hit. Liner to short, gloved by Alfonso. Moving quickly to his right to end the ball game. No runs, a hit, no errors. 1 man left on base. We'll be back with the wrap-up show coming your way next. Our final score tonight, the High Point Rockers 7 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 1.
One home run in the game, a big one, a grand slam for Jared Mitchell of the Rockers.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs. Providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
High Point takes the second game of this 4-game series 7-1. The Barnstormers and Rockers in a pitcher's duel until a 5-run 7th inning. 7 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, 5 left for High Point. The Barnstormers with a run on 7 hits, no errors, and 10 stranded. Matt Sergey with the victory comes back off the injured list and fires 5 shutout innings against the Barnstormers. Allowed a lot of base runners, 9 to be precise, over the 5 innings. Lancaster not able to cash in. The loss to Connor Overton, but a tough one as Connor delivers his 3rd consecutive quality start for the Barnstormers. He goes to 1-1 on the season. The home run belonging to Jared Mitchell, the granddaddy of them all, a grand slam that broke the game open in the 7th inning and for Mitchell, his second grand slam at Clipper Magazine Stadium this season, representing different ball clubs. He connected May the 7th for the Sugar Land Skeeters and here on August 20th for the High Point Rockers. 2 hours, 41 minutes, the time of the game, 34-79 on hand here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers had a chance in the first inning. They loaded the bases with 2 outs, couldn't cash in. They had runners at first and second in the third and first and third in the fourth inning, and never got a run across the plate in all that time. Connor Overton threw 4 shutout innings. In fact, he had retired the first 11 that he faced in the ball game tonight. However, in the top half of the fifth, Richie Schaefer led off with a single to left. Via Sergei Rosa cracked the double off the boards in right center field, and when Andrew Applin tried to chase the ball down and recover the carom off the wall, he slipped and went down. Darian Sanford recovering the ball in right field. By that time, too late. Schaefer racing around to score, and High Point took a 1-0 lead. Rosa stopped at second with the RBI double, moved ahead to third on a wild pitch, but never did cross the plate in that inning. In the sixth, the balk was charged following a leadoff single by Steven Cardullo, and that put Cardullo into scoring position. He came across on a base hit to center by Hector Gomez. That would be it off of Overton. 5 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts for Connor in 6 innings of work. The Barnstormers were able to play to run in the bottom of the 6th inning. Parker Morin led off with a double to the gap in right center field, moved up on a Melvin Mercedes ground out, and with 2 outs in the inning, Devon Torrance, with 2 strikes in the count, lined a single into right field to make it a 2-1 ball game. Torrance was thrown out trying to steal second. Lancaster never recovered, and the 5-run 7th inning did in the Barnstormers here tonight. It started with Sergei Rosa and then Miles Schroeder singling off of Matt Marksberry. Giovanni Alfonso popped the bunt in foul territory. Parker Morin made a terrific sliding catch on the play. The runners at first and second with 1 out. Garrett Granitz took over. The Granitz walked pinch hitter Matthew Jones, hit Steven Cardullo with a pitch. That forced in a run to make it 3-1. And that's when Jared Mitchell unloaded his 7th home run of the season, his 2nd grand slam here at Clipper Magazine Stadium on the year. It made it 7-1. That was it here tonight. Elsewhere in the Atlantic League, Long Island over Somerset, 6-4 was the final score. Ismael Cabrera with the win over Luis Cruz. Pedro Beato with his 3rd save. And New Britain dumped Sugar Land 3-2. Brady Dragmeyer over Ames, and Jim Fuller with his 14th save. In the big leagues tonight, a full slate. Pirates over the Nationals, 4-1 was the final score. Seattle 7, Tampa Bay 4. Cincinnati over San Diego 3-2. The Phillies slipped past the Red Sox 3-2. Braves over the Marlins 5-1. Elsewhere, it is St. Louis with a 9-4 lead in the top of the 9th at home over the Milwaukee Brewers. Cubs 5, Giants 3. That is a final. Extra innings in Game 2 of a doubleheader in Arlington. The Angels and the Rangers knotted at 2. The Twins pounded the White Sox 14-4 tonight. It was Houston doubling up Detroit 6-3. The Rockies and the Diamondbacks knotted at 3, bottom of the 6th. Earlier, the Angels won the first game of the doubleheader 5-1. The Orioles tripped up Kansas City 4-1. Mets slammed the Indians by a final score of 9-2. Late games now started. Oakland with a 4-1 advantage over the New York Yankees in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the LA Dodgers lead the Toronto Blue Jays 5-2 in the top of inning 4. Well, that will do it for us here tonight. Tomorrow, join us at 6:45. Hopefully no more rains, and thank you for your patience here the last week and a half or so with our technical issues. Those seem to have been cleared up this evening, and we're grateful that you were able to tune in tonight. Tomorrow night, 6:45, with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Michael Bowden, 2-2. Nate Reed, 2-2. The Mound opponents for the 3rd game of the series. Join in tomorrow night. Until then, for our PR assistants Joey Greer and James Murray, for all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we will see you at the ballpark.